Hello, everybody. Welcome to the What Do You Dream podcast. I'm Nick with Kristi.
Hello.
And today we've got some dreams, got some facts, but most importantly, we have a public services announcement from our social media expert, Kristi.
We do. So as we've mentioned before, we have a Instagram and Facebook up and running. We have quite a few people liking our stuff now on Facebook, which is so exciting. We have
is.
Friday fun facts, and today's Friday. So if you go onto our Instagram and Facebook, you will see today's Friday fun fact, which I have not yet posted. Shame on me.
Actually, we record on Friday and it goes off on Tuesday. So we're everywhere. Time is relative, man. I don't even know.
We have little video teasers, which are fun to watch.
The video is my favorite.
Yeah, that is my favorite too. We have quotes from new episodes as little teasers, to get your little brains going before we drop a new episode. We have We have posts for when we do drop a new episode, which is every Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So please have a look, like, follow, drop us some, click on our things, like them, and we'll follow you back. And if you have any dreams, do post them on our Instagram or Facebook, and we will feature them in our podcast.
Yeah, we will. And also, and if you're really, really shy and you don't like being seen on the socials, you can always email us at whatdoyoudreampodcast@gmail.com. Just put in the dream and we'll take it from there.
Or slide into our DMs, as the cool young kids say these days.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we are old now. I mean, no, we're young. We're hip. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. We're cool.
Totally hip.
Totally hip. No one can see this, but I'm wearing a beanie and I'm feeling like a hip person.
I've never seen you wear a beanie before, and it works. Yeah. I mean, you can pull off a beanie.
It does. Yeah.
You should wear it more.
I should. The problem is I have such a hot head, but I run so hot, the beanies just melt my brain. I got to protect as much as I have of my brain. Because
I don't know if you know. Someone told me this, so it might not be a real fact. Please don't quote me on this. But apparently you lose most of your body heat through your head. So if you want to stay warm, wear a beanie or a hat.
Yeah, no, that's anyone who has shaved all their hair off would tell you that they do get cold really quickly if they don't have anything. And my hair is thick and luscious. So
at the moment it is, because you haven't had it cut in so long.
Well, you've admitted that it's at least luscious, so I'm pretty happy. I take that. I'll take that. I'll take that for the W.
Although you can fix that facial hair, that is something you can't control.
I mean, I can. Okay. Ow. It's not too bad. It's better than it used to be. Last lockdown, I let it grow too long, and it was filthy. It looks filthy.
Like bum fluff, though.
How much bum fluff have you seen?
I'm growing my own bum fluff. Can't you see?
Isn't it just called peach fuzz? You got a little Hungarian beard going on.
A Hungarian moustache.
Do they call them babushkas in Hungarian, or is there a different term for it? I don't
think we have babushka dolls.
No babushka dolls?
No,
nothing like that.
No.
What do you like? Is there a term for like old lady, for like general old person, for nothing like that?
There is, but I have no idea what it is.
You don't know it? Oh man. No. Well, look. Well, see, this would have been better. This would have been a better intro to the topic that I was going to bring up, but it didn't work. I mean, I don't know if I can transition now. What am I going to do? Do I? Well, speaking of bilingualism, thanks, Kristi. Let's take this on to the fun fact that I so if you're listening to us, if you listen to the last episode, we brought up a topic about people who could speak multiple languages, anyone who's bilingual, because Kristi noted how she could only speak Hungarian when she was growing up, when she was quite young. And I went, oh, you know what? I wonder like how many people dream, like how bilingual people dream. I think that was my big question.
And what'd you find?
So, well, I actually got a bit of a chuckle out of it, because so reading up on it, it's funny. So it's interesting. It started off as I just wanted to know, do people who believe in other languages, Jesus Christ, how many speak other languages? Do they dream in other languages? But it became a way bigger topic, because it ended up being more like cognition, how do we, the whole idea of self-talk and pre-linguistic cognitive thoughts and ideas and concepts. And I was like, damn. But then I realized, of course, dreaming is going to be like a sub-branch of how we cognitively think, right? So then it's like, well, that depends on how do people think. Do they think in all languages, both languages, if they're trilingual, and apparently most people, 70% of people do think in terms of both, using all languages that they have at their disposal, depending on whatever the topic is, because it's all about the priming, apparently.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what I find really interesting. Yeah, so because it started off with, a lot of the research is on the precognition, so it's everything like you're thinking to yourself. And in that, I found out that people don't all think in words to themselves. You know what I mean?
What so they see images instead?
It's kind of like, so some people can think in images or like mental concepts, and not necessarily speak to themselves. But some people can't even speak to themselves, and they talk to themselves out loud.
Oh, my dad does that.
Interesting.
He
well,
just talks
that's
to
really
himself
interesting.
all the time. Like he'll mumble under his breath, and I'm like, you are a crazy person.
So does he like say something and then mumble, or does he just like, he's just off standing somewhere and just going like blah 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 blah?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he thinks we can't hear him. We could totally hear him. Is he
okay? Is he going deaf? Just out of interest?
I think he is. I think he is. Because
that's interesting.
We bought him an iPad for his birthday a few years ago, and he listens to that thing so loud. Like the volume is turned up to the highest point it could possibly go. And whenever I visit my parents, he'll be on it, and you can hear it from the very other side of the house, like the very end of the house.
That's so funny. Yeah,
so
my dad's
100% he's going deaf. I know, he's 100% going deaf, and he won't admit it, and he mumbles under his breath, and he thinks we can't hear it, but we know exactly what he's saying, because it's not that quiet.
It's like he thinks he's doing this, like, you fucking piece of that. But it's like, you fucking pieces of shit.
It's like, what'd you say?
No, I didn't say anything. I said something, you dumb bitch.
Because he's a tinkerer, so he tinkers all the time with things, like, he collects things from other people's front lawns that they've thrown out. And when he's tinkering with it, he just mumbles to himself.
That's really interesting. And is he mumbling to himself in English or Hungarian? Or both?
Both.
Okay. Well, finally, so that's interesting, because that kind of lines up with most people who speak multiple languages will speak multiple languages to themselves, depending on the situation.
I never thought, I didn't actually put two and two together, but that's proof.
Well, that's scientific proof. Don't look anywhere else, anybody. You heard it here first. If you're bilingual, you can speak to yourself.
My dad is proof of this little
Kristi
experiment we've just done.
Kristi dad seal of approval. Boom. We did it. Watch out, scientific world. What else can we use your dad for?
Mic drop.
We'll use your dad for more, like, to prove other stuff. It's like, Hey, Kristi's dad, is gravity real? No, gravity's not real. We heard it here first. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Doesn't work here. No. Does not exist here today. So back to the whole thing with thinking, to a point, it's the research on that, the whole idea around dreaming differently is very similar. So about 64% of people, they dream in usually both languages. They'll say they both or all languages, depending on. So it's funny. So it depends on the situation they're in, the person they're talking to, and what they're dreaming about.
Yep.
And that will determine. So say if they had a dream about someone, but they only speak English to that person, they will dream in English to that person. But there was one funny aspect of dreaming with people who are bilingual, where they report themselves as being able to speak completely fluently, but they actually aren't fluent in that language.
Really?
Right? Yeah. So I think one of them was a Russian linguist, and they had a dream speaking fluent Russian. But when they woke up, they realized that it wasn't Russian. It was a bit of Slovak and Czech.
Yeah.
It was, and a bit of Russian. But in the dream, they thought it was perfect Russian. Like, and and it's funny because reading this, I remember I used to have dreams when I was learning French that I could speak perfect French, and I could not speak perfect French. At best I can do is I can imitate the intonation quite well if I'm watching a TV show.
Yeah.
But I get told I sound like a French schoolboy. Like, it's like, je m'appelle Nick. Parlez-vous anglais? I don't. Escargot. It's like I lose like 13 years of like being an adult and just regress super hard into a child. Yeah, it's just. So yeah, there you go. So like if you do speak multiple languages, if you're bilingual, trilingual, multilingual, and you dream, tell us what you dream in and where it goes, because I would love to know, because I know my dad is bilingual. He speaks mainly English now, but I know he dreams in both because he sleep yells.
And sleep fights. He's Duna.
Sleep fights. As canonically established, he is a sleep fighter. Infinite to zero. He hasn't lost. He's never lost. He is undefeated, and I think it's like what is it? No, it's not Friday the 13th. It's Nightmare on Elm Street rules.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you die in your dream, you die in real life. So
I can't wait
lucky.
till the Duna actually wins. That'll be a great day.
It's going to be, I think Dunas will rejoice, but the Duna needs to pick up his game. It's like, it's been like 30 years and it's just, it's like doing
Duna.
the same moves. It's the same moves. You got to stick a move. It just lies there like a blanket. Like, what are you doing? You got to be dynamic, man. You got to be dynamic.
But going back to that Russian guy who...
Yeah.
Sorry, the dude who thought he dreamt in perfect Russian, but it was a bit of Croat and Slovakian. I can see why that would happen because those languages are very similar. Like even with Hungarian and Polish and
it's the same like mother tongue.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that are very similar. So I can see why that could happen.
Yeah, I think it'd be similar for like like in some maybe Asian countries as well.
Yeah.
So, like there's certain things that it's like they're like kissing cousins. That's a bad phrase. I love saying that phrase because it sounds so awful.
It is.
nothing like just like the tip of incest. Oh my gosh!
We go to some dark places.
They're all very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so much. All I know about Russian is they really don't like the Ukraine right now.
Yeah, right.
That got political. And always the bad guys in my video games and the movies from the 60s onwards.
I know. They're always Russians, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like the Russians, but then like they had like anyone that was Middle East for like the noughties, but then Russians are coming back. You know, I think they're truly the great universal bad guy. If you are Russian out there, we don't hate you. We love you. And if you dream I would love to know how Russians dream. I'd love to know. Is it cold or is it warm? I'm going to say warm. I imagine they dream warm.
Well, yeah, because they wear all those fur coats and those big fur hats, and they're always oh, this is so stereotyping, but drinking vodka to keep warm.
No, but like I feel like, I mean, Hungary's close-ish, that Eastern Blocky vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're speaking from some kind of experience.
Like I know
hope so.
my mum hates the snow because she had to live in it.
Yeah. Okay.
She absolutely hates it. Like when I was, I don't know, 15, my dad decided to take my brother and I to the snow for the very first time. And Mum absolutely refused to go. She's like, nah, I lived for 12 years in the snow. I'm not going. She absolutely hates it. She hates the cold.
Fascinating. Well, so then that goes to this point. I was going to bring up this point about that. And generally speaking, there's a theory out there about dreams where dreams are something of desire, the desire to be something else. Right? So but then at the same time, we also dream about stuff that we're familiar with. It's funny, like the theories on like dreaming. So like, would you dream more about places that you would want to go or places that you've been to? I mean, just like doing a quick straw poll here, it's usually where I've been. And I'd say 80% of the dreams are places I've frequented a lot.
See, I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like I dream about things I want to do or want to experience. But obviously things that are never, ever, ever going to happen. Like I've had dreams about vampires before and being a vampire killer. Like that's obviously never going to happen.
I wouldn't rule out vampires, man. I wouldn't rule them out. Be ready. Look, I've watched Blade. You know, I'm not Wesley Snipes, but I can't be vampires, man. Is it real?
Yeah, see,
I just eat a ton of garlic.
I love garlic.
Garlic's so good.
But yeah, I always have dreams about things that are just not real and I know would never happen because it just defies all sense of...
Yeah, like logic, I guess.
Yeah,
it's just this crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I guess for me, it's usually grounded in a place that is real, but it's always like hyper insane. It's a little bit too much.
That's true, especially the last few dreams you've had in our last couple podcasts. It's always in like a place that exists or somewhere you can actually visit, like your old school or an apartment building or whatever.
Yeah. And then it becomes super, super ridiculous really quickly. And then, because it always seems to start off in a familiar setting and then it just goes like, hey, brain, you know this place? Let's go crazy. Who cares, man? Let's go. And it's like, oh, stop, give me a minute, please. It's just like, hey, you like Godzilla, right? It's like, I'm pretty impartial, I mean. It's like, I'm sick of taking a Godzilla. Let's go.
Yeah. Your dreams start off normal and then end up...
They go weird.
Yeah, they go weird.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dreams, I've heard that you had a dream. And it's quite an involved dream.
Well, I don't know if it's, kind of. So I had this dream the other night and I dreamt I was writing a letter.
Okay.
To someone. I think it was probably my husband or someone who was that kind of person to me. But romantic. It was... No, because this, like, the whole thing was, no, it wasn't romantic at all. I was leaving him.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn, that's really sad.
But it was strange because it was set in, like, the 30s.
You always go retro.
I do.
Always. You love it.
It was set in, like, the 30s, 40s, I'd say, because I had, like, a pen and paper and stuff. But I
mean, they've had pen and paper for a while.
Yeah, but like it wasn't a quill.
Not a quill.
Ink. No, it was like it was a ballpoint pen.
Ooh.
But I was dressed in clothes from like the 1800s. So I was wearing like a corset and stuff.
But it looks nice, I guess. Like, it makes you feel fancy.
Yeah, but it was definitely 30s, 40s era because there were cars. So, like those old style cars. So I don't know why I kind of mixed the two.
I think were people wearing corsets? I mean, people would have been wearing corsets back in the 30s and 40s, right? Like,
yeah, but I'm talking.
Or did it look really like older?
Yeah, I'm talking like
that really
full
ornate
corset. Yeah, like the big skirt with the 6 layers underneath and the apron not apron, but like what women.
I know. Yeah.
But I was very well dressed, so I was a respectable woman.
Again, so going back to that point, people desire what they aren't.
Good point. Good point. Yep, got me there. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I'm not gonna be able to read this now. You got me good.
Roast.
So I remember my husband. Well, I don't know if it was my husband or my husband to be, or I don't know. But I remember his name was Charlie. Yeah, betrothed. His name was Charlie. And I remember bits and pieces of what I was writing. So when I woke up, I kind of just filled in the blanks. But it's very like, I reckon 90% of this letter is I dreamt it. And just the rest is sort of like adding in the thes and the finishing sentences. Yeah.
So just as a bit of context, Kristi has written this out.
I have written this, and I'm going to read it out, so don't laugh at me.
Like it's a good book too. Like it's a nice like journaly book.
It's like a page, okay? It's not an A4 page either. It's like half an A4
presentation. Okay. But it's good presentation. I just want everyone to imagine this.
And I dreamt it in olden style words too.
Oh really? Like how like Shakespeare?
No, okay, not that old.
Not that old. Okay, bring it up another 400 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 30s, 40s kind of English.
The Rowan 30s. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but let me know this. Okay, okay.
All right, cool. I'm going to read it out. So it's going to sound so dicky, but okay.
I mean, what's the difference?
As soon as I woke up, I had to write it down because I was like, oh, I got to write this down because I don't know, for some reason it just stuck with me. Anyway, so I've written... Dear Charlie, I'm afraid this letter does not come to you with good tidings. I followed you.
I love that.
That's only the first sentence.
God damn, Charlie's just like hearts dropped already. I can feel. They're just like, oh my god, it's not good tidings. Sorry, continue.
I know, I told you it was not a good letter.
I love this letter already. Damn.
I followed you the night after last. I knew it was wrong of me, but I had a certain feeling that something was very untoward.
I love this.
My assumptions were correct, for what I saw was not my betrothed. Oh, there you go. I didn't even realize I wrote that.
Oh my god!
Was not my
we have not talked about this before, by the way. No. We don't talk about our dreams. We save it for the podcast, so this is just happenstance.
Okay, so for what I saw was not my betrothed, but a monster wearing his face.
Oh, damn.
I didn't stay long, for I could not bear to watch, and left that night. You promised me it was all over, that you were done with it all. How wrong I was, a fool to believe such a man. Bewitched by your undemanding tales of a happy life, a life based on lies and deceit, my eyes are wide open and cannot be persuaded by your falseness. Do not come looking for me, for you have broken my heart, and I fear the sight of you may very well be the end of me. Christine. Because my name was Christine.
Far out. That was like a Jane Austen novel moment. No joke.
I know, right? And you know what's funny? Because I just finished reading Wuthering Heights as well from Bronte.
Ah, there you go.
So that could have
that was like written so well. Like I really enjoyed that. Like,
but do you know what? I reckon 90% of that I actually dreamt. But the part that I the first part I wrote that as soon as I woke up, I remembered was, do not come looking for me, for I fear the sight of you may be the end of me. That's the part I remembered, and I was like, oh, and then the rest just kept coming, and I was like, fuck, Charlie, what the hell did you do to me?
I want to know what he did, because like, wait, can you go, was there a part in it where he promised not to do something again?
I don't know. I just remember that I was writing a letter, and then once I finished writing the letter, I got up and I was at some like train station all of a sudden. Like,
of course, because you're leaving.
Yeah, but it was like an outdoors train station. Like an old kind of Western type of one. And I remember I was buying a ticket, and
Tickets, please.
yeah, and I was like, oh, can I please, where does this train end? And they said some place, I don't know what the place was, and I was like, oh, can I get a one-way? And then, yeah, I know. Ooh. And then I hear a voice behind me, and the voice was like, Miss, actually I wrote this down too. What did I say?
Okay, yeah.
I said, a one-way ticket. Someone must have really broken your heart to make such a definite journey. And then I turned around and I woke up. I didn't even know who said it to me.
Oh my God.
I know.
I want this developed. I want this developed into something, because that actually got me. You hooked. This is like a hook for something. I don't know what it was.
That's why I wrote it down, because I'm like, I could make something out of this. I don't know. But yeah, I just remember reading that letter, being at the train station, buying a one-way ticket, and then some man behind me saying that. And as I turned around, I don't remember. I must have just woken up, or the dream ended, or whatever.
That is the best dream you've told me. So,
I know, that's the best dream I think I've had for a long time.
It's really good. I really dig it. Like, oh.
But for some reason, I have an image of Charlie being like Charlie Hunnam. Maybe that's where I got Charlie from.
Maybe. I think interesting.
Because I have also been rewatching Sons of Anarchy, and the main actor is Charlie Hunnam. So I don't know if that's where Charlie came from.
Maybe.
But I mean,
Charlie's
Charlie
a pretty good.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie's a pretty good like general name.
Yeah.
To like put in. And Christine.
Well, that's being very non-creative. I just like, added an N&E to my name.
Close enough. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like if I went Nicholson. Oh, well, you really dug deep for that.
But I love how descriptive my letter is. Like, that's so creative. And then I can't come up with a different name for myself.
I know. It's just like I loved how it read. It read really well. I was really, and so while listening to it, I was imagining that character you prepped like over something, writing with like a dim light, scribbling this all down in a hurry, because like she has to leave, right? That's what I'm imagining. She's like writing this down in a hurry. She has to leave, and then she's coming. Then it ends with that line, like "Don't find me" kind of line, and then fades into the into the train station. That's what that's how I saw it. Like it was a lot of.
She didn't even post the letter, the bloody idiot.
Oh, I imagine they would be close. She would have left it somewhere, right?
Probably. I don't know.
Or maybe they weren't being keeping to their premarital vows. You know.
I just want to know what he did. I don't know what he did.
So he's a monster. We already know that.
He's done something to piss her off.
Done something. So okay, let's go into the analysis portion of this stream, and I think a lot of it is probably just you for the what you've been reading and what you've been watching.
Yeah, because I did finish Wuthering Heights about 2 nights before I had that dream.
That really lines up. That lines up really well, and I think definitely and this is like going to be a recurring theme, but there's so much nothing happening at the moment that this kind of drama is like, ooh, like listen to me, I'm losing my shit over a letter that you wrote to like some Charlie who's possibly an evil man. Like I'm G'd up. I'm so bored. But okay, so what did he do? So I imagine Christine would have following him.
Yeah, so she
and
followed
felt
him
bad.
somewhere. Yeah. And I'm assuming
And
she
I
would
can
have followed him at nighttime. So
Of
he's
course,
obviously
yep.
doing something dodgy. And she
Yep.
says what she saw was a monster wearing his face.
That line is brilliant. I love that line. Like that because a monster wearing his face, because he must have just been doing something so disgusting that she did not recognize him. That's like, so how are you this smart? How are you this smart? Like it's like, how long have I known you for now? And like I've never heard anything as articulate as well written as this.
My smartness comes out when I dream.
It's so she would have had her suspicions, and she would have had her suspicions before this.
Yeah. She obviously
and he
knew something was
wouldn't
going
have liked
on.
it. Yeah, and he wouldn't have liked it.
No, and he was probably trying to keeping it from her, and she was like, enough is enough. I'm going to figure out where you're sneaking off to every night.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a killer.
No.
I don't think, because what was the final line? Don't find me.
Yeah, don't come looking for me.
And I'll die.
Yeah, well, she's very dramatic, I find, this character.
She's a bit dramatic.
The line was, do not come looking for me, for you have broken my heart, and I fear the near sight of you may very well be the end of me.
Oof, there's a lot. There's a lot. Because, like
I said, that's the main thing I remember from this dream, just that line.
Yeah. So maybe he just went to a brothel.
Nah, I think he's done something way worse than that. He would have had to hurt
someone. He would have had to hurt somebody.
Yeah, he's done something really dodgy.
But what does he do? He must just beat people. Maybe just beat up homeless people.
I'm kind of getting a bit of Peaky Blinders vibes here as well.
Mm-hmm. I haven't actually watched Peaky Blinders. I know.
What?
I know.
Bro, you have to get onto Peaky Blinders.
I put it on my list. Don't worry. Okay. Give me something else, because I'm getting like he's like Jack the Ripper, and you're following Jack the Ripper or some shit. And he's like,
yeah, look, I don't think he's a murderer. Yeah, like you said, I don't think he's a murderer, but he might be the head of like a gang,
crime gang,
and he gets all his goonies to do his dirty work for him. But she knows that he's the mastermind behind all the evil doings.
Okay, and
that makes him scarier, because he's the one coming up with all the scheming and all the.
Now I'm following you. Okay, so it's like this. He's this really nice, smooth talking kind of guy.
Yeah.
Wishes her the world. She maybe already knew he did some off-color stuff.
Yeah.
But didn't realize how deep it was.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever did her any wrong. Like, I don't think he was the kind of person to beat her. Like, I think he treated her well.
No.
Sort of like, your head of mafia would treat his woman like a bloody queen. But she's just not into that life.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think it's like a family and business split. But I imagine it probably would have been something like, so I'm imagining she's followed him, old mate Charlie, followed him to wherever, because he's obviously has to get involved in business now.
Yes.
It's time to get involved in business.
Yeah.
Something has to get done. And he's like, I'm just imagining this guy's like, sorry, Mr. Charlie, I tried to pay the debts, but, the horses, she just didn't want to run. It's not my fault. Just like, don't worry, it's okay. And then just pulls out a hammer and just starts crushing his hands, smacking his hands. And then he's just like no expression. He's just like bland expression. And then he's just got like a splash of blood in his face. The guy's crying, just wipes his face, and he's just like, just take him away. And then he just kind of goes back to business as usual, like nothing had happened, and she'd be like, oh my god, what the hell's just happened?
Yeah.
Like, this is that. Yeah. And it's that more it's the heartbreak of what he always was versus, and she's not so worried about her safety, it sounds like. It's more the embarrassment of being associated with someone like him. But also Christine, honey, this wouldn't have been a secret, I imagine, in this town, wherever they were. Miss Dream writing really eloquent, eloquent as
she
hell.
She was probably so blinded by his good looks and charm that she just didn't want to believe it.
Or maybe they just all believed he was like, I work in waste management.
Yes.
Just take out the trash.
Yes, but for some reason I feel like he had an English accent, like he was a English kind of.
Hello, you work in waste management, didn't you?
No, not like it, not that kind of accent.
Or maybe he sounded a bit more like this. I don't know. I'm British tea. I don't know. British tea. Hello, my name is Mr. Charlie, and I'm a horse or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah. Christine definitely had an American accent, but I feel like Charlie was English.
So is it? So, that's kind of cool, because I'm thinking more like, you watch Gangs of New York?
Yes.
Kind of like that.
Yes.
It's that mix of, you got the American, you've got the imports, this funny mix of people.
Actually, going back to your fun fact, I dreamt that he would have an English accent.
Yeah.
So...
Okay. That's... No? But it's an accent. He still spoke English.
Yeah.
How many English people do you deal with?
None.
I didn't look up accents. I looked up.
I forgot that it was dreaming in a different language, not a different accent.
I love that. It was just like, hello, is this speaking in an accent, isn't it? And it's like, accent, it's still English. Oh, whoopsie.
Whoops.
Because I was waiting for like, oh yeah, and then she started speaking Hungarian, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well,
sorry to disappoint you again.
That was really, I was ready, because I'd already been taken down a goddamn rabbit hole, a journey, and it ended with a, it's really sad. I didn't.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's
bad,
okay.
Kristi.
But that still, like, I'd say our platinum dream. That's a platinum dream. If I'm gonna, you know what? Let's rank. Let's work on a ranking system, and I think this rank is up there in terms of imagination, in terms of intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in terms of like the influence of why you had this dream.
Yeah.
I'd rate that quite low, because it's just like you've just been watching shit.
Yeah.
It's a media consuming. That's cool. But or you could take it, and I'm just throwing poop out my bum. it could be the, maybe you have some misgivings of your partner.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Your husband's pretty straight shooter. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? If he was in organized crime, not like Australian organized crime, it's very like bikies, very rough, but I mean like in that kind of American turn of the century crime stuff, I'd feel like he'd be part of it. I feel like he could fit in pretty easily.
Wait, who? My husband or Charlie?
Your husband. Oh. No, not Charlie. I feel like your husband could be like pretty cool in, like, he'd be a bruiser, right? He'd be the guy that you call when you gotta get stuff done.
I don't know. I mean, he does ride bikes, and he does own some guns, but purely for hunting purposes.
He has the permits. In Australia, you have to have a permit.
Yes, permit. He has a permit.
Permit.
But he's a bit of, I don't know.
Too soft. He's saying he's soft.
Yeah.
He couldn't smash someone's hand with a hammer if he didn't pay his debts.
No.
Look, he'll shoot a roo, but he ain't gonna. Okay, there you go. Well,
but then again, he was like, he said the first time he ever shot a roo, because they're pests here, as much as it is our national animal and they are cute, but they are a massive pest out in the bush, especially to farmers. So you can go and shoot them. And he said the first time he shot one, he felt so bad. But then the more he did it, he was like, another roo, another roo.
I hear it's the same with people.
It probably would be, you know. Just
I remember listening to this podcast where this this comedian was talking to a taxi driver, and the taxi driver revealed he got kidnapped by the Mexican drug cartel, and they killed all of his friends in front of him, all this kind of stuff. It was horrible. And he asked one of the hitmen, like, what's it like to kill someone? And he said, the first time's hard. And then what happens after that? It's easy. And you're like, oh!
Yeah. Isn't that a disturbing thought?
Right? You're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
But taking it back to a fun point, kangaroos taste great.
I've never had kangaroo meat. I refuse to
Really?
eat kangaroo. Nah.
Well, we're the only, I think we're one of the few countries in the world that eat our coat of arms, because we can eat emu and we can eat kangaroo. It's not illegal.
Yeah.
Like in America, it's illegal to eat. Do not touch a bald eagle.
Yeah.
They're endangered and you will get in trouble. But I want to eat it more.
Whereas he was like, let's just shoot it. Let's just shoot them all.
I was like,
no,
Skippy, more like dinner.
Yeah, see, I refuse to eat it because I just think of Skippy.
Kangaroo meat is so good, especially if you're trying to be healthy. It's really
apparently,
good.
yeah, it's very lean.
Stinks though. You had to cook it up. It stinks.
No.
Fuck, it stinks. No. It's gamey.
I'll stick to beef and chicken, thanks.
Emu's pretty good too. Crocodile's really good. Have you had crocodile?
Nah.
You wouldn't eat crocodile?
No, that's just
it tastes like schnitzel.
Right.
No. It just tastes like chicken schnitzel. It's great.
The most adventurous I've gone is lamb.
I was going to say, but I thought Hungarians eat a whole bunch of cool stuff. Not
really. Like their biggest thing they eat is pork.
Just pigs, pork? I thought it'd be more like sausage, like gut stuff, like the cool, like the nice, like rich flavor of like more like sausage gut meats.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like they eat everything of the pig, like every part of that pig is used. But pigs were just so easy to keep. They last in the winter. They last in the summer. But they would have like one pig a year, and that pig would have to last them a whole year. So that's where they would just use everything out of it.
Everything, of course. Oh, man, that reminds me of, I think Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay had that whole thing about raising animals in his backyard, and he had the pigs. And the kids loved him, all this kind of stuff. And he even showed him taking it to the slaughterhouse. And I was like, damn. Yeah. I was kind of sad for a minute. But then it was pork chops for dinner, and I was really hungry. So.
Well, I kind of get it because my husband's parents had a farm out in the Blue Mountains, and they had sheep on there. And the sheep had lambs, and they took the lambs to the abattoir. And I refused. I refused to eat lamb every time I went to their house. I refused. Because I was like, lamb. That was the little lammy that I patted. Like, that was the little lammy. And I just
think of The Simpsons.
I just couldn't eat it because I knew it.
Oh, I know the taste. Oh, have you ever watched?
Apparently,
have you ever? Yeah.
I was gonna say apparently it was the best lamb that they've ever eaten.
Because it's fresh, right?
That's right, and it's all grass fed.
Oh yeah, that actually probably would have been delicious. Like, babies. I was gonna say, have you ever watched Snowpiercer?
I watched the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like that line in it, and it's just like, no babies taste the best. I'm just thinking of the lambs.
I actually did not like that movie.
That movie was so good. Sci-fi, amazing. Yes, high-level concept sci-fi. Are you kidding me?
The concept was good. The delivery was shit.
Your shit.
You know there's a TV show. Netflix turned it into a series.
I heard. I haven't watched it because at the time I was interested in watching it. They were doing it like weekly or fortnightly. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
when it's that kind of stuff, I need to consume it. Like,
yeah, exactly. You need to binge it in like one day.
Like a baby lamb.
Yeah.
That agreement. I'm like, yeah, what the hell?
Wait, what did I just agree to? So yeah, that was my dream.
Okay, that I'd say that is the top tier dream at the moment.
Do you know what? I think I know why I had such a good dream, because I didn't have anything for last week's podcast. I dreamt nothing. So it was maybe
Yes.
all building up to this one fantastical dream that I had.
Fantastical. I love that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Put that on a t-shirt. Well, like, because you had huge FOMO last week.
I did. I was so annoyed that I hadn't dreamt.
And it was just like, oh man, Nick's got this dream and it's all cool and shit.
I
and
know.
like,
you go on these freaking adventures and I'm here just bored out of my brains.
Now I've got envy.
Yeah.
You know, I've got this because my stuff is very explosion, sex, no rock and roll. We just, you know.
Sex? I don't know. There's none of that either.
Sorry, yeah, I was going to say explosions, wanting to, and nothing happens.
Again, dreaming what you want, but not getting it.
It's desire, not reality. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, far out. Oh my gosh. On that, well, I don't know. Is it happy or sad? Or, you know what? It's reality. It's both. On that sobering note, yeah, thank you so much for listening, if indeed you still are. If you have any dreams, please send them to whatdoyoudreampodcast@gmail.com. I've been Nick with Kristi saying thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
See ya.